I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't know any more of the words, but it doesn't really matter. It's the Friday Beer Buzz special holiday pageant of the airwaves, ladies and gentlemen, 2016. Yeah, we have an hour-long show here. We're in segment 3 right now. Our special guest in the studio this morning is Ben Schoenfeld from Benny Brewing Company. All right, Ben. Lindo Sabatini, who's with us, of course, all the time. Bill from MyBeerBuzz.com, and our special alumni guest, the Friday Beer Buzz alumni guest, the Joe Thomas. Now, Joe, we've been talking about, and obviously, to this day, we hear people, we get messages on Facebook and phone calls and stuff, and where's Joe, and bring Joe back, and we miss Joe, and so forth and so on. So maybe we should fill folks in what you're doing. Now, after you hit the lottery, what happened after that?
Well, I started working for the Trump administration. Well, sort of
Secretary of State.
I work with the Social Security Administration.
Social Security Administration.
Yeah.
Is that a cabinet post you're in now?
No, not quite. Not quite.
No, but you're getting there, right?
Yeah, it's close.
So let me ask you, is it a noticeable difference between working in radio and working for the government?
Yeah, we're not allowed to have drinks.
What?
At the government.
What?
Well, so far you're not.
I mean,
anything could happen in January.
I've mentioned it.
Oh, you
and
suggestion
no,
box?
Suggestion box.
You can't.
Yeah,
and you can't bring knives in either.
No knives, no alcohol.
No, exactly.
Well, that's 2 easy rules to follow, really, when you think about it. Well, we're glad that you're here.
I'm glad you asked me.
And the special holiday edition of the Friday Beer Buzz here, the holiday, and I want to call it the pageant of the airways. I think we all agree that's exactly what we have going on here, don't you think? Yes, I think it is.
Absolutely.
Bill from MyBeerBuzz.com. Segment 3, here we go.
Segment 3. Joe, I got to ask, I'm in my mid-50s. Is there any hope for Social Security for me?
Absolutely not.
You're done.
I'm just kidding. They will always
done.
Could you
there.
squirrel a little away just for me? Buy me a beer when I hit 65.
So, Joe, if you're working there 3 years, you're eligible for a pension at that point, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, and a chair that keeps your feet up. That's what I'm shooting for.
See, originally I was shooting for a greeter at Walmart, but I might start leaning in that direction once I lose this job. And who knows, that could happen any minute.
It could be, yeah.
All right, well, anyway, let's get on with it.
Say the wrong word here with your last
sure.
hat.
Yeah.
Segment 3, we always typically talk about who owns who, and it's becoming very difficult to track Big Beer's invasion into craft beer. And I like to recap it once a year because I think it's really fascinating to see, how little people know about who's really producing their beer and who's distributing their beer, and how much has changed in a year.
Right.
I mean, it's been a really, really active year. So let's run them down here.
Okay.
So Anheuser-Busch owns Red Hook, Widmer, Kona, Goose Island, Blue Point, Shock Top, 10 Barrel, Golden Road, Breckenridge, Carback, Elysian, Northern Brewer Home Brewing Supply, Four Peaks, Devil's Backbone, Bastiles. Lindo and I were just talking. Heartbreaker, Triple Carmelite is now owned by Anheuser-Busch. Birra del Borgo, Italy.
This is all Anheuser-Busch?
Yeah, and Camden Town in London.
Fine, and how's yours? All right, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. And Camden Town in London. And so, yeah, they're
unbelievable.
Muddy in the waters. Then we run over to Miller Coors, SAB Miller. 10th and Blake is really the name to watch for. 10th and Blake is the craft beer arm of Miller. And now they own Blue Moon, Leinenkugel's, Terrapin now. They have a dominant share of Terrapin. St. Archer, Revolver Brewing down in Texas, and Hop Valley Brewing. And the ultimate irony here is now that this has all happened, Anheuser-Busch is now purchasing SAB Miller. So that entire list that I just read you there will pretty much be AB InBev.
Gets absorbed. So, and we've talked about this on and off, on a show here and there along the way.
Sure.
What's the ultimate goal here? Is it just because they want in on that part of the market, or is it that they want to quash the definition of what craft beer is and reduce the numbers? Because craft beer is like, what, 12% a year grown, and mainstream beer is not seeing that kind of growth.
Yeah,
right?
mainstream beer. This started about 3 years ago where mainstream big beer was decreasing their market share, decreasing their sales, and craft beer was up by 10, 11%, double-digit growth. So, yes, the answer is yes to both. Yes, they're trying to get into the market that's making money. Of course, that's what they want to do. And yes, we saw it sort of last year with the Super Bowl commercials where they're really starting to take pot shots at craft beer and that we, the way we make it, and
it's not as fruity,
no pumpkin peach beer and anything.
So did they purchase craft breweries and companies that weren't making money or that were at the edge, or did they purchase some successful craft brewing companies?
Again, yes. They go after both. They go after regional things, and that's really, I think, what they're trying to corner. If you look at a map and look at what they're buying, they're doing a very regional approach where they want to have a presence in all these markets, in the Northeast and the Southeast and Southwest and the Northwest. And yeah, they're going after profitable breweries, and they're going after breweries that are on that edge where an infusion of $3 million would be a big deal.
I was just going to say exactly that. I mean, there's a guy who's scraping by, and he's making a couple of bucks, every year, but he's not getting rich doing it. And then Anheuser-Busch comes in all sexy with big money and says, hey, you know what? Here you go. Here's $3 million. That's what you're going to make in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Another thing that makes a brewery very attractive to being purchased is what their potential growth is. Mm-hmm. So if all of a sudden these guys are killing it and they increase 40% 3 years in a row, they can be gobbled up immediately because of the fact that there's a really bright future for them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who bought them, but didn't we talk about Ballast Point at one time?
Yeah, we did. That's the second half of our list.
Oh, okay.
Heineken now has a 50% stake in Lagunitas.
Yeah.
Magic Hat and Pyramid are owned by North American breweries. Ballast Point, Constellation Brands for $1 billion.
Billion with a B. Billion.
And that's the deal I was referencing without saying it.
Gotcha.
Those guys were on a tear, and they got the $1 billion because of what their growth was.
Well, and imagine, there you are, you're sitting there at Ballast Point, you're doing pretty darn good, but then they walk in and say, would you be interested in $1 billion, perhaps?
Yeah, they pull out $1 billion
wow,
bill.
The guy got his car so fast, and we booked the vacation. It's unbelievable.
Ommegang is owned by Duvel, which we like. It's a big Belgian brewing conglomerate that we like. Boulevard's owned also by Duvel. And then you get into the ones that we actually like even a lot more. Alpine Beer is owned by Green Flash, craft beer buying craft beer. Oscar Blues owns Perrin Brewing and now Cigar City, which is great. Oscar Blues now owns the two of those.
Yeah.
Huss Brewing bought Papago. That's a little bit smaller one. And Krebs bought Prairie Artisan Ales, which is another small Krebs, Oklahoma brewery. And that leads us to our beer and our brewery, because our brewery that we're featuring in segment 3 is what's called a gypsy brewer.
Okay.
So a gypsy brewer is somebody that really doesn't necessarily own a brewery. And of course, as soon as you say gypsy brewing, anyone that knows craft beer thinks of Mikkeller.
Yes.
And so we're going to feature Mikkeller in segment 3. We're featuring a really, really cool bottle. I don't know if you saw the bottle going around. It's called a Magnum. It's 1.5 liters, about 50 ounces-ish. Mm-hmm. And it's Mikkeller, a very red and white Christmas.
Now, what I remember about Mikkeller, I think,
yes.
The only thing I remember about Mikkeller, because I know you have an encyclopedic memory of all the shows we've done, but I remember we had Mikkeller. Is that not Mikkeller, the cat poop beer?
Yeah, it's right here on the bottom of my boat. Cat Cofanet.
Cat poop beer. Thank you very much.
So they feed coffee beans to civets, little cats, and the cats eat them, and they poop out the beans, and then they collect it, which has got to be the worst job in the world, right? Say anything you want about your job, collecting the cat poo.
How about the first guy, though? Here's what I think about. Geez, I really love to make some beer, but I don't have much in the way of ingredients. Maybe I'll fish through the cat poop.
Yeah, I know.
And see what's in there.
I have a feeling a machine does it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it does, because it just...
I
don't think it does.
And again, I'm no zoologist, but a civet is essentially a Vietnamese cat, isn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, it's larger than a house cat, but smaller than like a big cat.
But that's not the beer we're drinking now, so let's...
It's not, but we featured that one. We were going to blindside Mary Telly with that one, and Mary Telly took the day off, and so we didn't get a chance to do that. So we got to drink that on our own.
I think she caught wind of it, that's why.
So it's a very red and white Christmas. And it's an interesting beer in that it's an Imperial British Red style ale, which is a unique sort of English bitter, blended with a Belgian wit beer. So we continue our Belgian sort of theme here. This one's also fairly big at 8% ABV, but it doesn't feel as strong, doesn't have the same boozy, heated presence of the other beers.
It doesn't, that's true.
And we know Mikkeller because you love making fun of me while I try to say his name. And it is Mikkel Borg Bjørgso. I get that right? I think I got that right. And what a lot of people don't know is he has a twin brother. His twin brother
He's an evil twin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, correct. His twin brother is Jeppe Borg Bjørgso.
Jeppe Bjørgso, who also...
And all he drinks is Budweiser.
That's right. He's also the Swedish chef on the Muppets.
Yes.
Very good.
Who owns Evil Twin?
That's right.
And if you know anything about Torst Bar up in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
you know a little bit about Evil Twin.
Yeah.
So Mikkel does this gypsy brewing. He's done it since 2006. He was a Danish math and physics teacher and started to experiment with yeast. We've been talking about yeast. With yeast and fermentation in his kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And now, he's probably a target. We talk about who owns who. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
he doesn't own a physical plant, but he owns a lot of beers. I think he's in 50 countries right now.
Wow.
He has bars all over the world.
Yeah.
And he sells his beer all over the world. And he recently has stepped in with AleSmith out in San Diego, California. And now you can buy beer that's branded as Mikkeller USA or Mikkeller AleSmith beer. So
Yeah,
he
what's
has
his name again?
Mikkel Bjorgsø.
And his brother Epi.
Yeppy.
Yeppy.
Yeah. So what does everybody think? This is an odd blend of things. So everybody like, not like?
Well, I will say, generally speaking, the Mikkeller beers that we've had over the years, they're almost always great. And obviously, like as you just said, he's a target because of that. He owns a lot of these great beers. This doesn't taste as 8% as you would think it might. I don't know. I like it. Anybody? What do you think?
I like it. Good.
Yeah, everybody?
Gives it a thumbs up.
D. Joe Thomas, you work for the government.
Is this the bitter that I'm tasting, or is that hops?
The hops should be part of the bitter.
Okay, then
the
I
Belgian
like it.
yeast will be estery and fruity.
Then
and
I like this.
So
This
you
is
like
my
the
favorite
hops.
of the first three.
So this is Joe's favorite.
Oh, nice. It's got D. Joe Thomas seal of approval, ladies and gentlemen.
John, you look like you're in the TASS news agency.
I'm
I have
wearing
to say.
I have my Russian Ushanka hat on.
Where do you get these
because
hats that fit your head?
It's in case Russian Christmas comes
That's
along.
the thing. If it fits his head, he
For
buys
everybody
it.
That's
who's
right. So you're just happy to have a hat that fits your head.
I went
so
to that
you gotta-
Lids place at the mall one time. I said, I don't care what team it is. If you have one that fits, I'll take that.
And nothing.
They didn't have any.
No,
And
no.
this-
So you have to watch the video, folks, to see these hats.
Russian hacker.
Yeah, you want to definitely check out the videos. The videos will be posted at WLKNewsRadio.com and, of course, at mybeerbuzz.com.
Yeah.
All right, so, Beck, what do you
I
got?
just wanted to say quick, it's your Sneguruchka cap.
Oh,
See, Russian Christmas.
that's there you go. All right.
And
I
these
like
are
it.
all
No,
all packaged at De Prof in Belgium, which is a really, really nice Belgian brewery.
and you can, of course, get a bottle of this at Sabatini's.
You bet.
All right, we're enjoying Miller. Miller.
Party foul. Party foul.
Great! I want a do-over. Less filling!
Tastes great.
It's Mikkeller.
Tastes great.
Mikkeller. Shame on me. Mikkeller.
I think you're actually embarrassed, John.
Mikkeller Red White Christmas. Wrapping up segment 3 for a fast break, and then we'll be back with the final segment here with the holiday pageant of the airwaves, the Friday Beer Buzz on WILK.